talkers. Trash talkers. We're just smack talkers. Trash talkers. Let's get into probably one of the main points of this whole documentary that, in fact, Jordan was worried about how he was going to be misinterpreted and people were going to think he was a mean guy. And the word bully came up, with respect to how he was treating his teammates. And so I'll give you a first stab at it. How did you feel about how he was treating his teammates? And in today's climate, can he be classified as a bully?
30
years ago, we weren't even using that term.
Would he be accused of creating a hostile work environment?
Yeah,
exactly. Who knows? Maybe. But I would say that
if somebody go to HR on him.
I mean, yeah, he definitely was creating a hostile work environment just based on some of the things he was saying to people. Punch Steve Kerr, and
you know what's so funny though? I'm glad you brought that up. He didn't start it. I mean, he kind of started it, but Steve Kerr threw the first punch.
Yeah, Steve. But that must have been, if he said he really fouled him, he must have really. I mean, that foul must have been worse than a punch.
Worse than a punch, right?
Yeah, he probably.
And that's true. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah,
Jordan deserved to be punched.
Yeah, he knew he deserved.
Let me say that.
Yeah, somebody just that was just not. He said that was not okay. I'm gonna give him something to call a foul about. So
now that's a foul.
Now that's a foul. So so as far as the bully thing, the thing I found the most remarkable about that was that it had an emotional impact on Jordan when he heard people discussing him and his personality, his persona as potentially a bully to his teammates. He really kind of got emotional about that. He really looked like he felt that he was misunderstood and that the whole purpose behind it was to win. And I do agree with, I think it was B.J. Armstrong said, look, if your goal, if you weren't all about basketball and you weren't all about winning, then it was going to be a bad place to be because that's the way he was. And so, he said, if you were, then it was cool. You understood it. You knew where it came from. But if you're on the team and that wasn't your mantra, then you were, it was ugly because he was going to call you out on it. And so,
did he have to be that way?
Brady looks to be pretty angry a lot of times at a whole lot of people. I've seen him and I think that's just part of that look.
I doubt he's punching linemen though.
Yeah, no, I don't
in practice.
No, you wouldn't know. Well, I don't think so. But it's part of that. Look, if we want to win, then you can't, I need you guys to go. I need everybody to go. So, but I think he felt bad about it, and I think I don't think he denied it. He just felt like
he didn't deny his treatment. I guess the question is, and he always talks about the price of winning. Is that acceptable behavior for every leader of a basketball team? Or is it only acceptable if you do get the 6 chips?
Yeah, well, they compared the year when Scotty was kind of at the helm, how he was a different type of leader. They
didn't win.
Yeah,
they didn't win.
Yeah, but they didn't. It was just Scotty, man. He could at least. He didn't have a sidekick. If he had another Scotty with him, then maybe that'd be a fair comparison. But it was, when you pull Jordan out, and it's just Scotty, then that's a whole different. But they talked about he was more, got everybody together, checked on everybody. Are you okay? That's all right. This is what we're gonna do. It's gonna. He had a different style and approach, and I think that approach can work if that's who you are.
Okay, it worked for Kenny Smith always talks about Akeem Olajuwon, and Akeem was always positive. You know, he missed a couple in a row. He'll say to him, "Oh man, there's no way you're going to miss a third one in a row."
Right.
You know, so I guess I don't know. You know, if Jordan was on a better team, say if Jordan was on a Golden State, a team as talented as Golden State, is it acceptable behavior for him to be on a team that talented and be as aggressive in that scenario?
Okay. So I'm going to answer this question. And I remember Jordan said when he came to Chicago, he targeted who was the best player there. And he said he went after him. He went after him to establish basically pecking order. You know, I want to find out who the best person is. I'm going to go after him. I can't say anything, but I'm outplay him in every aspect of the game. And after that, you know, it's going to be my team. So I think if he went to the Golden State Warriors, I think he would have went after whoever it was, whether it was, you know,
KD,
Steph Curry or KD or anybody who was there. And after he established himself as the guy, oh, you wouldn't have had Draymond talking to him about anything. Draymond would absolutely not have gone after Jordan like he went after KD. I can guarantee you that. If he did, they probably would have been fighting.
Oh no, they definitely would have been fighting.
Oh yeah, but
he definitely would have been fighting.
Yeah, he wouldn't have gone after Jordan that way. And so, and if Jordan was on the team, I even think that if, you know, KD was on the team and Draymond was on the team, and he saw Draymond go after KD, I think Jordan would have gone after Draymond. It's like, man, we don't. That's not how we're gonna win, you know. And you know, and just he would have went after both of them. You know, who knows? But he would have been like, no, we can't win like that, man. That's not how we win. And I think he would have cleaned it up. And I'm not saying that to, you know, disparage like Steph Curry or Klay Thompson. I think those guys are pretty competitive too, but it's just a different style. And Jordan just very unique in that aspect as a uber competitor, and just, you know, he was very, very concerned about every aspect of everything that was going on that team. So he that's just the way he was wired.
Yeah. And he always, you know, referenced how bad they were when he got drafted. And so it's almost like a drill sergeant, you know, coming in and having to change culture. And that's the quickest way you can change culture, is if you come in with your guns blazing and say, look, you know, we're not taking any more of this crap. Because he didn't want it to be gradual. What Jordan understood best was, if something's going to happen, it has to happen now. You know, none of this building for 10 years and things like that, because he knew how hard it was. You know, as soon as they got past Detroit, it's like, man, we got to win it every year. Right. You know, we got to do, and that's another thing that I wish somebody could have asked him. How did he develop that winning at all cost attitude? It seems like nobody else had that. I'm talking about in the league. I mean, he had to win. I mean, even the funny things of the documentary when he was, you know, throwing quarters against the wall, you know, against that one guy, the older guy. You remember that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
When he was, and it's like, when he lost some of those things, it looked like he was pissed about that.
Oh no, he everything he lost, he was upset, you know.
Yes, really.
But I will say, and I think it's valid, that he got cut. I think it was in the 10th grade from the basketball team.
Yeah, but that was for varsity though.
Yeah, but I mean, if you ever get cut and you know that you're better than some of the players on the team.
Okay, yeah.
Which happened to me, you know.
I'll accept that.
So after that, you kind of realize like, it doesn't matter, you know, I better be, I better be the best because, I don't want to get cut anymore. And in fact, it just creates a everlasting chip on your shoulder where every time you take the court, you don't want anyone to outplay you
Right.
because you're like, it just flashes up. No,
You don't
I'm
want to leave it,
I'm not leaving it.
to a discussion. You don't want to leave it to discussion.
Right.
When you watch Jordan, he's going to be the best basketball player on the court, and he's going to be the most serious one on the court. I mean,
Oh yeah.
that's the product you get when you're watching him. That's what you're going to get, man.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah. There's a level of tenacity that we used to say, man, it's just like Jordan just like hacking people. I mean, he looked like he was looked like he was fouling all the time to me. But it was just so intense the way he was going after people.
Right.
And it's like, man, he the way he went after people on defense was ridiculous. Like, and he was running and he was just going hard the whole time. And you just don't see that. Like they say, 82 games of doing that every night, And so that, to his credit, that's just his mental, just his mental makeup. And like they said, and that makes sense. He started needing things to get him fired up, to get him to that zone. He would create these things in his head, to get him at that level. And he always wanted to play at that level. I guess that chip from getting cut from the 10th grade team didn't carry over after you won like 3 NBA championships. You could kind of let that
yeah.
But
I think he feared letting stuff go. He was going to lose that edge.
Yeah, and I think he saw other players like that. Golly, I shouldn't say this, and I'm going to say it, but Clyde Drexler. The difference between Clyde and Mike could be just over the years, the approach, the approach to the game, the intensity, the tenacity, that same spirit that Mike had. If you put that inside of Clyde, I'm not sure that Clyde would be a whole lot different than Michael. I mean, you're absolutely correct. Right.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
That's the difference is he said, I want to win at all cost. And he's one of the few people who said that and really mean it.
Mm-hmm.
He really means it. Nobody else means that. Nobody else wants to win at all costs. Only him.
Yeah, I think there were a few. If I had to go through, I think Magic was a serious, win at all costs type of guy. Obviously, I think, and I never saw this guy, so I'm not that old. But Bill Russell, from what you hear about Bill Russell, he was just win at all costs. He would do anything.
He hated practice, though.
Yeah, he would do anything.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing about Jordan is whenever you're talking about basketball and whenever you're playing basketball, he doesn't concede anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If some crazy reason, you were at the park and you were shooting around, and for some reason Jordan just wanted to shoot hoops in a park, and you both were in the park together shooting hoops, he would say you want to play one-on-one, and he would try to destroy you.
he would destroy you. I don't know about you, man, but I know that, maybe we played a little game of horse. We could get a spirited battle there, but
yeah.
But one-on-one, there's nothing you could do with him.
I saw him. He has these camps. Obviously, YouTube, man, is the greatest thing in the world. Because I was just kind of, Michael Jordan searching, and so he has this camp like most of those guys have. And how you're playing. He was playing one-on-one with I don't know, a kid must have been 6 or 7. And he was like, he was like playing good enough defense to not let that kid score.
Right.
Like, what are you doing? And I
Right.
think he like blocked the kid's shot a couple times and stuff. And it's
Yeah,
like,
well,
dude, man.
you don't want a 6-year-old going around telling everybody you scored on Michael Jordan. It's like
Yeah.
it's not gonna happen. And
Yeah, it's just, man, this cat is wired differently, man.
yeah,
And that's why we love him, man. But okay,
that's
so
why we got
yeah,
10 hours of a network
right.
viewing. What is it?
And
Almost,
people want more.
20
People want
years after the fact. Yeah.
30, right? No, is
Uh,
it? Well, 91. Well, yeah, I guess the last dance
98,
98. So yeah, you're right.
97, 98 was the last. So
Right.
a little over
Yeah.
20 years.
20 years. Right.
So yeah, I
Eh,
don't know, man. I just uh
Okay, let me ask this one. Okay. So we accept it when we're talking about other players. Could you have played with them? And being, wrath aimed at you.
yeah, I could play with him because I mean,
What would you have said to him though? Like, I played ball with you. You ain't taking much crap from nobody.
but
although,
I would play with him.
although
In fact, I would have enjoyed playing with him because, I would. I think I would look at it from that perspective. This guy is out here to win, and so, it's just I can't get mad at him.
But how about the Steve Kerr situation though? He's hacking.
Oh yeah, I would have punched him too. Like that.
That's funny.
Oh man.
I couldn't take. Well, obviously everybody wants to play with Jordan, but you would think those guys would have a different attitude because those guys aren't NBA players. They have some ego. Jordan's better than them. I mean, you and I would be in awe of Jordan because we're not NBA players, but those guys did make it to the league, so they have some. They should have some swag, and not one has said in any interview that they were really bothered by it.
Yeah, I don't
Too
think
much.
so. I think that at that point, you just, this guy was great. He wasn't, like he said, I wasn't yelling at you about things I'm not willing to do. And he was probably working harder than anybody. And they knew that they could. And, I'm sure when they were running sprints, this guy was, racing around the gym, pushing them, yelling at everybody. I mean,
Right.
it's like, so if he was out front and he was doing it, I don't think anybody would have a problem with it. If that's what you do. And I think some people would want him to turn it off, but I don't think he could turn it off. I think that, he was on you even on the flight after the game. Like, it's like he would say things to people like, yo, you almost cost us the game. Well, you got to box that out, or you got to do this. And, I'm sure, he hurt a lot of people's feelings. Now that would hurt, like during the game, when I'm playing, when we're going at it, you yelling at it. But after the game, if you come up and tell me, hey, Alan, if you'd have swung the ball one more time, you would have had such and such wide open and we could have won the game. I'd be like, no, come on, man. We might have had some comments, some discussions about that. But even still, you got to respect the guy, and he came in and he changed that team to, like they say, the Beatles. They became a rock star sensation everywhere they went. Places were sold out. People wait, and you knew it wasn't because of you, and so you just had this opportunity to be on a team with this guy. And so, and besides, if I'm on his bad side, I might get cut.
Right. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why he justified it. Right. So, man, look how my life changed. Obviously, the money's great, but man, as soon as he steps outside the locker room, There's this one picture of him doing an interview. His back is against a wall, and there's like a sea of reporters,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like inches away from him, all the way to probably 20, 30, 40 feet back. And they got like a semicircle around him. And it's like, I thought to myself, how would I feel if I had to face that every single day?
Mm-hmm.
That would be crazy. So he's probably thinking to himself, man, look at what I have to go through.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are going to take some yelling from me.
Yeah, I'm out here on the front line in every way.
Right.
So,
And like I said, I took this franchise from garbage to we're the Beatles now. So you're going to have to, take some of this too. Take some of this burden. Trash talkers. Trash talkers. We're just smack talkers.